Hello everyone and welcome to Pause Lesson 11. Today we are learning about mindful listening. Mindful listening helps us choose which sound to focus our attention on and helps us to be thoughtful in a way when we hear and respond to the words of others. You will know that you're successful when you know and understand what mindful listening is and are able to practice it in your daily life. Mindful listening is a great way to pay attention on purpose in the present moment. You clear your mind with deep breaths before your next chat or your next lesson. And then as the person talks to you, you carefully listen, noticing the words and their mannerisms and inflections. Concentrate on understanding all that is being communicated. Now, these are really important skills for students to have. And when you practice it through the pause lesson, you can really connect the kids to how this skill can be used all day, every day in the classroom, but also with them in the playground with their friends and their families at home, because it's very valuable to have really great listening skills. One, to take information in, but two, to acknowledge the person that is talking and to be able to carry on a great conversation with them. Now, I really love this picture of the symbol to listen from the Chinese. So this Chinese symbol breaks down basically what you need to do to listen mindfully. So you need to be present, you need to look with your eyes, you need to focus with your prefrontal cortex, you need to feel with your heart, you need to be able to think, and most importantly, you need to be able to listen and hear the sounds that are coming. I really just thought this was a great way to break mindful listening down for students. Now, during this lesson, I also introduce a fourth part of the brain called the reticular activating system. It is the thin blue tube in the brainstem that you can see pointed out on the diagram in the PowerPoint that you're currently looking at. So the RAS is like a sorting system for the brain. The 5 senses send information into the reticular activating system, and it sifts through it and only lets the important information through to the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. Our RAS works the best in the morning to filter out unnecessary noises and distractions, like air conditions, fans, and outside noises. The reason I've put this into the mindful listening lesson is the meditation that is included in this lesson. The kids are actually asked to listen outside the classroom, listen inside the classroom, and then finally listen inside themselves. This is an excellent activity for them to actually realize how much the reticular activating system is actually filtering out for them. But also it gives them a platform to be able to share with their classmates and the teachers some things that maybe always annoy them and that their activating system is allowing through, and whereas some of ours may not. I've had many experiences over the years of doing that. Like often I don't hear the air conditioner or the whirling of the fan, but some students do. So it's a really great thing to understand of another part of how our brain works. Now, with one of the schools where I was working at, they really struggled to grasp the concept, and they were a farming community. So basically I decided to use the cattle yards as an example of the reticular activating system. And I told the story to the students about how this would work. So basically the little yards inside the big one would be storing information. So some cows information are carrying from the eyes, information from the ears, nose, mouth, and smell. Then one at a time, the cows going up the race to the crush is like one piece of information going up the RAS at a time. Now, if the farmer's standing at the crush gate, opening and closing it, the information can filter through like the cattle filter through very easily. However, if the farmer gets distracted and leaves the crush open, all the animals rush through, and basically the cattle truck is overwhelmed with cows, just like our brain gets overwhelmed with information, like we see in the mind jar with all the glitter going everywhere. So it was an excellent analogy to share with the students, and I found that both teachers and students were able to grasp how the RAS worked better with that story. I hope it helps you. This is a little bit more information that you can share with your older students if you like. just breaking it down a little bit more. Here is the listening meditation that I was speaking about, and there's a little worksheet that can go with that to help the kids write down what they heard after they've done the meditation. This is an extra activity that you can do with your children as well. It comes from the student booklet. Thanks very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed that lesson.